Okay.
Take two? Is it? Okay, I think it worked. All right, and away we go. Psych, nah.
Did it not work?
No, it worked this time. It worked this time.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we are on.
Sweet.
All right, people, welcome to.
Try it.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Welcome to Top of the Dome. Top. God dang.
I might just need him to write it down one day and just read off.
You want me
It's
to do
because
it?
you guys always use the letters, and I don't
Okay.
know what the. You say it. Go ahead.
All right. Welcome to the Top of the Dome production, Top of the Dome Prodcast.
There we go. All right, I'm Yusuff.
I'm Elliott.
I'm Titania.
All right, and today we have for you. Did you get the memo? Our new segment, Time Off with Pay, our manga review. Today is. I don't know why I was gonna try to keep it a secret. I write it out in the title, so.
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna do Cross X Regalia or just Cross Regalia.
Cross Regalia. The X is unnecessary on every level.
Yeah.
X is always
And
silent.
we'll after that we'll have a quick performance review, which is our little testing segment.
Yep.
So before we get in, anything new in the life of you guys? Actually, guys.
Yeah.
I know like I'm about to get into the news, but this is really important.
Okay.
Okay.
This is really important. Before I
Okay.
even get to the news, I have to tell you and people out there, listen, the porn is safe. The porn is safe, all of it. It's safe. We don't have to worry.
Was the porn ever not safe?
The porn was in danger for like a few seconds, but the porn is safe.
Okay.
And this is actually a news story. I'm
What?
talking about so basically there was this thing going on with you guys know about Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is a whole thing. I'm pretty sure John Oliver would talk about it soon.
Yeah.
But basically under that there was some problems with doujinshi being sold, and there was some problems with that, copyright issues and all that stuff.
No.
So the porn was in danger,
Oh.
but now it is safe.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Prime Minister Akabe he's promised us that doujinshi is protected and the porn is safe. That's just what I'm telling you. So everybody can breathe a sigh of relief. We can still read porn safely.
All right.
Uh, okay, so that out the way. Let's really get into let's get into the real news. Starting with a little bit of fun. So do you know who Darren Hayes is?
Sounds familiar.
He's a singer from Savage Garden. And do you know what Savage Garden is?
No.
It's a band. Do you know what's okay? Do you know the song "I Want You"?
Can you sing it for like a little?
No,
No,
I'm not
no.
doing that. I'm not doing that. Anyways, no, it's the song that was just used in the ending theme for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part
Oh.
4, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Okay.
So Darren Hayes went to Twitter and I'll put up the exact quote of what he said, but he gave it a little shout out. It's pretty cool. Just it's nice when singers like real life celebrities acknowledge anime from time to time. And I did guys show you guys earlier the variations on that ending theme.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, man, I think Safety Dance fits really well.
Yeah. That was so weird. That was chilling.
I don't know how they do it. It's like all you have to do is take the image, and almost any music I think from like the 90s or 80s works really well with that.
Well, with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
Kind
of.
of old drawing, so.
Eh, well, that's just a fun little story. Moving on right away is one I don't think you would like very much, Elliot,
Okay.
because you've shown my disdain for this series for no reason whatsoever on a constant basis. I don't know why.
I don't know what series you're talking about that I would
I'm
be
talking
so unfair
about
to.
Koi no Katachi or A Silent Voice. You remember what that is? It's the one about the deaf
Oh
girl.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't
I
like
like that
opposed
one.
to it. I just didn't read
Yeah.
it.
So Koi no Katachi is
Were
a
you not
manga.
the one who told me to read it?
No.
What?
I told you to read it. I told
Okay.
everybody to read it.
Yeah, okay, because I know I read it.
It's really good. So if you guys don't know, Koi no Katachi or Silent Voice is a manga by Yoshitoki Oyama? I don't know. Oima.
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 Yoshitoki Oima.
It's about this deaf girl. It's about this boy that bullied this deaf girl, and I really saying more than that would get really into it. And basically, this news story is this anime is gonna get a film coming in September 17th.
Anime?
Not an anime, just a film. It's just gonna be one
Straight
film.
to film? Oh.
Yeah, just a film, not really an anime series. And it's gonna be done by Kyoto Animation, who do slice of life stuff. They
Is
did
there-
K-On!
Is it
Oh, yeah.
short enough for that?
Honestly, if they're willing to skip a few parts, then they could fit it into one film. Honestly, they could fit it into like 3 films. it'll be the way I'd like to see it. They could have did an anime. Either way, it's a good series. Really heart wrenching. I think that's the
Yeah.
reason you hate it so much
mean-
because
oh,
you have to
'cause
have
it
a
makes you
soul
feel-
to enjoy it.
It makes you feel guilty for being alive.
Wow.
That no.
Is that how you feel?
Did you never feel guilty reading it?
I didn't feel guilty reading it. I just felt like a dick. Honestly, man, it talks about bullying and stuff, and it's like, man, it makes me regret a few things I did when I was younger. But uh, it's a story about redemption. That's all I'm gonna live. It's a feel good story at the end of the day. Even though you feel like crap at the beginning, at the end of it, you're gonna feel okay. You're gonna better yourself. It's a motivational movie.
Oh wow.
But anyway, that's a nice story. That movie is coming September 17th. And now that we've talked about some good stuff, I'm gonna have to bring you guys down. The story about bullying and the deaf girl, it's not the worst of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to bring you guys real down. Because our main story is a kind of a two-parter.
All right.
So tell me guys, what are your feelings about anime?
I love it.
I
You
love
love
it so
you
much.
love anime?
Yes.
That's the truth. Why do you love anime so much? Let's just talk about that.
It's interesting. It's fun. Some of it actually tries to get you lesbian. Some of it's just for pure entertainment
And it's a great visual medium, isn't
It
it?
caters to
Yes.
all demographics.
So, how do you guys feel when your anime becomes live action?
it makes me so sad.
What? I mean, Assassination, Death Note,
No.
Just
Dragon Ball.
Okay, so let
so
me tell
sad.
you, we got a two-parter for you, and starting with the first one, Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, that's kind of. Yeah.
How would you even?
Wait, who's doing it? What country is doing it?
That's Japan. Japan is doing this one. Yeah.
No, that's not good. Don't give them credit.
Listen, okay, let's get the stuff we got right now. So Japan is making a live action Full Metal Alchemist movie for 2017. So filming is supposed to begin June to August. So it's on the way. They're gonna use heavy CGI to make up for the alchemy, Alphonse armor, and all that stuff. And it's being directed by award winner Fumihiko Sori. So,
I'm about to pop a blood vessel just listening to you
I
talk.
need you to calm down, man. Just calm down.
Have you seen the CGI that Japan uses in its live action series?
Attack on Titan.
Oh my gosh, why'd you go there?
Attack on Titan, Assassination Classroom.
Oh my god. So,
And no, they also try to pass off we pass off grown men as teenagers. They pass off grown men as young teenagers. Did you see Nagisa?
Are you? I don't even want to.
my
Don't go there,
goodness.
please.
But honestly, so this has been floating around the internet and people have been talking about it. And here's the thing that I don't understand. For some reason, there are a few people out there who are saying this is going to be okay.
There's always some people out there who thinks this stuff is gonna be okay. They believe that live action is just a whole new way to look at it and are giving positive feedback for it.
It's like, I don't understand. It's never worked before.
Some people actually enjoy the live action, like with
No.
Haikyuu. No, I'm serious.
Was,
With Haikyuu, Haikyuu is basically a volleyball sports anime, and they had like a play.
Yeah, that could work. That's a sports series. A sports series, nothing anime or fantastic really happens in a sports series.
Oh come on, you know they exaggerate a
I
lot
mean,
of
they
shit in there.
exaggerate, but like
Like when
can
you get into the
tra-
zone, you can see it, and
you can easily transfer somebody playing volleyball to live action more so than somebody performing literal magic.
Okay, so it's not really digressing, but I did sort of look at try to Google search image for this Full Metal Alchemist movie.
We don't really have much yet. This is still in.
Yeah,
they
I
haven't
know.
even begun shooting.
But
so.
I just found it funny how one of these images has I think his name was Hughes,
yeah.
being played by Markiplier.
No, this is a fully Japanese
Yeah.
endeavor, so it's gonna be all Japan.
Right.
But you wanna know what's even funnier about this news story?
What?
This news story came out like on March 30th. Very close, March 30th to March 31st. Very close to a day I hate, April Fool's. I just despise April Fool's Day. I stay off the internet on April Fool's Day. So when I first saw this news story, I was like, okay, man, I'm gonna give it a couple of days. It's gonna go away. And I
You
came
thought it
back.
was a lie, didn't you?
I thought it was a joke. And then I came back and it wasn't a joke.
It was real.
It was still there. It was still there, like mocking me, just going like, "Hey, we're coming to ruin your shit." That's what this news story says. Anytime I hear live action and then it says anime right there, they might as well write, "Okay, we're about to fuck up." Bang. There's like live action Full Metal Alchemist movie. What I read is we're about to fuck up Full Metal Alchemist. That's not gonna be good. And you know
Does
what?
everything have to be live action? Like, why do you need it to be live action?
And I'm so glad you guys aren't trying to tell me that to be okay and to relax because it's gonna be good. Because my brother tried to tell me that, and I'm really getting sick and tired of people trying to tell me things are gonna be good when they're gonna suck. I've learned my lesson, man. Batman versus Superman. We don't even like. I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna start sticking with my first opinion on things. I'm gonna see something. I'm gonna say it's crap, and nobody's gonna change my mind about it until I see it. Because
Okay,
I
all
was
I'ma
told to
say-
be optimistic.
No.
And I'm telling you, screw optimism. It's gonna suck.
No, all I want you to do right now is to say, do not bring back up Batman vs Superman because there's too many opinions floating around, not just yours. So we'll leave the
I'll leave that out.
we'll leave the deciding opinion. The live action sucks.
I'll leave it. Oh my goodness. So, moving on from there, I told you this was a two-parter.
Okay.
So we covered Full Metal Alchemist. So guess who else is getting the live action treatment?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's
This is kind of interesting. This is already somebody that's already been abused. This series has already been abused with the live action treat, but now they want to abuse it over here. It's been abused in Japan, so they want to abuse it over here.
oh my god.
Death Note is now gonna get a live action American.
Didn't they already
series.
do that?
No. There was a Japanese one, and then they dubbed over the Japanese in America.
Hmm.
So now they're gonna do an American one, and guess who's trying to get in on this action?
Why?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, shut up! I will murder you. Do not invoke his name. Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg is Light Yagami.
Oh my god.
Oh, what's he gonna do? Give people Jolly Ranchers, and then they're like, oh, fuck that guy. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Netflix is actually the one trying to acquire the rights to make this live-action Death Note movie, and that may make you a little optimistic. It may make you, because Netflix is known for messing up very little, except for that Adam Sandler movies they keep trying to make me watch. I don't know why they're doing that. But this isn't finalized. Netflix is trying to seal the deal on making a live-action Death Note movie. They're still in talks. But if they do it, they're planning on giving it $50 million, which is a decent amount to make a movie. They would start production in June, but like nothing is sealed in stone. That's if they're able to do it. We'll probably do a follow-up news story on this later, but there's just, even with this, there are rumors already flying around about how this is going to be done, like what approach they're going to do. And I've heard somewhere, I don't know if this is real, there's just a rumor, that the story is, instead of Light Yagami being this guy with this god complex trying to feel, he's going to get the Death Note and he's going to use it for revenge. Revenge. He's going to use it because he's going to be a bullied guy.
Are you serious?
Listen, it's a rumor.
Are
It's
you
a rumor. This is not confirmed.
This is a terrible rumor.
So, we don't know if that's actually what's going to happen.
No, if they're gonna do that, they don't need to make it. They just don't. They need to stop trying. You need to stop because don't add in that shit. Like no, don't need that.
But honestly, this has actually been something that's been happening for a while. Because a while ago, Warner Brothers tried to make this movie, and there was rumors that Zac Efron was going to play Light.
Ew.
And then there was Lionsgate also tried to make this movie before. So this has been bouncing around a lot.
Who would you want to play L?
Who would I want to play? L?
That
What's that? God, what's that name of that dude? I don't remember his name. He was on Law and Order like a few times. I don't know his name. Dark hair. But I don't think anybody, honestly, Death Note could work as live action. Because even the Japanese version, that wasn't that bad.
Well, yeah, but that was at the time.
Yeah. And I don't think it's needed. Because here's one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to try to adapt it, and then, if the worst case scenario, they're going to go with what this rumor is, and they're going to change a bunch of shit, and it's going to be awful. Or the second case is they're just gonna do a shot for shot of the what the anime is, and then that's just pointless because we already have the anime. So why even do it?
Well,
Right.
America's known for not doing things shot for shot. You can give that to their credit or their not credit, but
All I'm saying is all this live action crap.
I just don't know why they're obsessed with this particular one. Like it was already done somewhere else. Why do it again? And then why try and make its own story? Like
but while we're on the
why?
subject of movies, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that America, like, well, let's talk about our big comic guys, DC and Marvel.
Uh-huh.
They frequently release direct to DVD or direct to video animated movies. Do you think they should start doing uh, big screen animated movies?
Big screen animated movies.
Yeah, like in the theaters.
Honestly, yeah. There's this weird. I think this is actually part of the problem. There's this weird stigma still associated with animated like animated medium, the animated medium of cartoons, anime, CGI, anything.
It's all
But
for kids.
yeah, there's this still weird stigma that it's for kids, and for that reason, they always hesitate to release animated features on the big screen.
Unless you're Disney.
Yeah, unless you're Disney.
Unless you're for animated things.
Like, or unless you specifically say this animated thing is for kids.
Or unless you're one of those weird artsy types. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But what I'm saying is, for some reason, they still associate anything animated that is for kids, and then they don't want to release it. So in order to release it on the big screen, they have to make it live action, because then for some reason that automatically makes it for adults.
yeah.
So that's what's happening here. So instead of like maybe compiling a Death Note movie animated, they have to make it live action and then release it in theaters. That's the only way they can release it in theaters or sell it as a theater movie.
I don't want to see that.
I would actually love to see an anime in theaters.
No,
Dragon
the
Ball Z,
anime, yeah, but not the live action in
Like-
theaters. I wouldn't want to see that.
You mean Dragon Ball Z?
Resurrection of F. I'm saying like stuff like that. You release it in theaters, people go to see it. There's proof that people would go to see stuff on the big screen.
Yeah, weren't those just in special?
Yeah, those were in special theater locations.
But I get what you're saying.
So that's the problem because they don't have faith in animation.
Yeah.
And that's sad because animation is a great medium. It allows for so much more creativity.
Yeah.
But that's being said, we have no confirmation on the Death Note one. That could just fall flat on its face and fail.
Again.
So hopefully it does, and we don't have to live through another atrocity like a certain movie that I think we all agree doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But this Full Metal Alchemist one, that is happening, 2017. We'll look at it and see what happens there, like Attack on Titan. Remember the trailers for Attack on Titan? People were all cautiously optimistic. Was like, okay, by the time the movie comes out, they'll have to clean this up a bit. It's gonna look okay. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. Look, guys, why am I the only one sitting in this theater? Guys, we're only 15 minutes in, guys. But okay, then.
All right.
Moving past that was our news story. Tell us what you guys think down there. But moving past, let's get into time off with pay today and do our little manga review. Today we have for you the exquisite, the fantastic, the meh series Cross X Regalia or Cross Regalia, which is a manga written by Sanda Makoto and drawn by Nari.
Narie
Give me your
Shinichiro.
notes. Let me
No,
read that.
no.
does it
It's
say?
two eyes.
Narie
It has
Shinichiro.
two eyes.
Yeah,
Narie Shinichiro. It has two
She.
volumes, 15 chapters, ran from July 2013 to April 2015 in Famitsu Comic Clear. And I will go over to our friend Titania here to provide a summary.
Okay, so this manga is basically about our main character, whose name is Inumi Hashiro, and he is a bodyguard for hire for 1,000 yen. He's roaming around Chinatown, and he sees a girl laying there on the ground named Nata. When he sees her, they have a little conversation, and he finds out she's running from something and decides to offer her his services as 1,000 yen bodyguard. He promises to protect her, and his rates are apparently 1,000 yen per trouble.
He is. He's raking in the dough. For those of you who don't know, like 1,000 yen is like $1 and
No,
some change.
it's $10.
$10 and some change?
Yeah.
Huh. Moved up.
Oh, cool. So he's not really raking it in as much as
He has
blowing it gently along into a pile.
He's rolling it in. And I'm gonna do things a little different from our last few shows. And I'm gonna start off by saying the positive things we like about this series. And I'll like to go first. And I'll first I would like to say on this show's positive, it's a short series, only 15 chapters, a quick read.
16.
16
Yeah,
tech.
16.
Yeah, 6. Well, no.
It is
Yeah,
16.
Yeah, 16 chapters. And it's a nice read. The chapters, they flow nicely into each other, just knock it out of the park in like 2 hours. And also, it has a twist at the end that I think was surprising. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing for a twist to be surprising.
Yeah.
And then also at the end, it ties a few things together. A few things. And that's a good thing. What good things do you guys have to say about it?
I guess I have two big good things to say about it. First off, I would say that our heroine Nata is the best vampire in any animated series ever. Like, sincerely. And I say that because she not only, well, these vampires absorb chi instead of blood, but she not only sucked the chi out of her adversaries, she sucked my chi and whatever good vibes I had about this series away as
Oh,
I
she is-
flipped through the pages to read it.
Oh, she is that powerful.
Yes. And my second good thing is this series made me appreciate it actually made me go back and retroactively appreciate Ichigo Kurosaki. and, and when I and when I say this, I was long under the impression that Ichigo Kurosaki was the most bland protagonist in all of anime, and I was wrong. Like, looking back at it now, Ichigo Kurosaki is a saltine with a topping of sriracha, boring with a little bit of spice to him. Hasuro,
Leave a little boy alone, man. He's like,
Hasuro,
We're still
thing.
seeing good
I know.
things.
Hasuro, on the other hand, is he's a saltine without the salt, and Nata is tap water poured into a styrofoam cup.
Oh wow, we said good things.
But these two together made me realize just how much I took for granted, and it helped me become more aware of like what I have to do when it comes to my stories. So yeah, those are two good things I have to say about it.
You got some good things to say, T?
Um, as for good things, I guess a romantic with things. So, and stop laughing. And I also would like the fact that everybody goes through hardships, and I like the type of mangas or animes where they at least give them some type of way to enjoy life.
Okay. All right. So that was like 6 thins, right? That was like 6
yeah,
good
that's
thins.
6 good things.
That's a good score.
That's more than we all gave. That's more than we collectively gave Takamagahara.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it is.
6 good things. So we said some nice things about it, so no feelings can be hurt now.
Okay, so how do we pick who goes first for the bad things?
The same way we did
We'll-
just
we'll
now,
just go
doing
the
the same order.
I mean, this is gonna take a while, so feel free to jump in here. We'll just dog pile on this, baby. Maybe gang style. I mean, like just throw it in the corner and stop it.
no,
I'm talking about the book, guys. Get your mind out the gutter.
My mind was in the gutter.
All right. So we said enough good things about this too. We softened the blow. That being said, God, this series sucks. It is awful.
There was so many questions, and
Oh, I got the
when
questions late. That questions come later, but let's start from the beginning, shall we? All right. So when we first start off, this series just says, hey, who are you? I don't care. Come here. It grabs you by the neck
Okay.
and just throws you into the shit.
That reminds me,
What?
Blood Battle Blockade.
Um,
Comparing the
Oh,
first
wow.
episode of that to the first of this. The first episode of both, we get the first episode of both these things, we get bare bones information, if we get any information at all. But
okay.
this series doesn't even have the decency to give you narration to
Oh,
help you
true
understand.
shit, there's
That's what
none.
I'm saying.
I don't know the
There
standard
is-
for normalcy in this world.
There
I
was
don't
no
know.
narration.
That's what I'm saying. Look, the first thing it starts you off with, it just throws you into like a big old like things are going down. That's all you can know. People are dying, people are fighting, things are going down. I don't even get a narration to go in the year something 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 or in this world of so and so. No,
Yeah.
it just says, "Hey man, come here real quick," and it just grabs you and it throws you right into the story, and you're just like, huh, who, where? You're like Dorothy getting sent into Oz, except she had a tornado to at least take her on her
It's
journey.
like going into a job interview. Hey, we found your resume. You want this job? Yeah, sure. When do I start? You start now. What do you mean you don't know how to stock the shelves? Didn't Fred teach you that? Of course not. He doesn't narrate.
This is like,
No, I'm just looking at this. The closest thing we get to any type of system of time is when they say generations ago or for a long time. That's not friggin' time. Those are time words, but we don't know when any of this is happening.
All right, so right immediately after that, after our craziness of getting thrown into the story, we meet our two main characters, who, by the way, is piece of paper and water.
No, you know their personality traits? Their literal only personality trait is their attraction for each other.
He's nice
Which
and
is-
she's apparently underprivileged.
And which is still not even a straight up attraction. It's hinted at. It's just hinted at constantly.
With the blushing.
And they never even go out and say it. And it's just Sue Blander McBlanderson and his girlfriend Blandy McBlanderson. Just so they don't have the same last name and it doesn't become weird.
I couldn't even find myself appreciating the ecchi because the characters were so bland. It was like being attracted to a plastic Barbie doll.
There was no need for any of that. And it
that
wasn't even
fan
for the
serv-
whole thing. It appeared maybe twice.
Yeah,
and went
and
away.
it was so random when I even noticed it. I was like, wait a second,
Like-
has there been fan service this whole time?
Yeah,
I went
like-
back and went like, oh, there was. This is pointless.
There's no reason
He's
for that.
passed out, so to wake him up, he wakes up, she's sitting directly on his crotch in a skirt.
There was no reason for that.
Being upset at her and trying to get her to calm down, he grabs her
Her
by
by
her
the-
thighs.
Yeah, and I was
and
like,
and it's not like he grabs her from the he grabs her right there in the middle, like so close. Like what the hell?
all right, and I know they're talking about their relationship, but can we go back a minute and say when he first finds her, and then to our flash forward later, they have only known each other for 1 week.
Oh yeah,
That's one week before something happened.
Week.
In a total, they probably known each other for like what 8 or 9 days.
And it's
Right?
like, and they're supposed to be super close, and they've gotten to really know each other, and they connected on some level.
But yet, for the entire time, they say he doesn't know anything about her. The entire time.
They've known each other for a week.
1
so
Nothing.
week.
The only thing he knows about her is her name.
her first name.
Exactly.
Then she never even got a last
She
name.
doesn't have one.
And it's like,
But
and then from there, and it's like, okay, they've known each other for 1 week. We flash forward. We don't even get to see the development of how they get to know each other through that week. We just
No
flash
shit.
forward.
Just fucking.
And we're-
Okay, I'm gonna be a bodyguard a week later.
And then, okay, can I like try to guess, people? Try to guess what our enemy is. What kind of work? We already let it slip earlier, but this series just like slapped you in the face with it. Cause out of nowhere, she starts talking to a cat that can talk. Cause cats talk. Cause I ain't know those are the rules of our world.
yeah, no. Like apparently it's still weird. A guy with the mechanical robot
Outfit
backpack.
and
that-
shit.
Yeah, cause that shit came out of nowhere too.
Yeah,
but
the outfit
that's-
is kind of cybernetic though. Like
Yeah,
there
but
was
that-
one picture where they showed that it's etched into his
Yeah,
clothes.
so that's okay. But a talking cat is not. I thought this was like a futuristic fantasy series for like
None of this looks futuristic.
like the first chapter. I could have been sure it was futuristic just because of that jacket
Okay.
alone.
But
Okay,
the
no.
first
At the
chapter-
beginning, when we seen the flashback, I just thought it was a magical world. Because, like, they were showing the battlefield. Actually, not even a magical world. They, like, showed a scorched battlefield, and we don't really see what caused it. It's just, we're supposed to expect that
That they're gonna explain this
Yeah.
later on or some shit. Like
And it's like, okay. And then the cat starts talking. And then from there, the main character gets attacked by this girl. And then, out of nowhere, this series says, oh, yeah, man, vampires. And I was like,
Actually,
no, first they start off calling them sages, then they call them demonic sages, and then they change it to vampire. They change the word constantly throughout the series, but it's all meaning the same
I'll
thing.
blame the
We
scanner
suck your
for
chi,
that.
so I can live.
No.
but
and it's
actually,
like,
I don't mind that.
you don't mind that it was just like, hey, yo, vampires?
I hated
Like
that.
a whole bunch
That's
of
kind of literally, I feel like that's what it said, word
That's-
for word in the panel. Hey, yo, vampires.
no, but
Something like that.
I mean, I guess I'm just used to anime having vampires do very strange, non-vampiric things.
Okay, let's get to this part. Think about it. how do vampires get their blood? They bite you. How do they get their chi?
They suck it out you.
They
They
just
don't even
well,
get near you
well,
to
yeah,
get
well,
it.
no, no, well,
when
yeah.
they were showing it in the series, she was just like kind of just breathing next
She
to him.
whispered to his ear, and all of a sudden, he ran away, and all of a sudden, like
got
that.
got his chi.
Yeah,
Got his chi, man.
and then when other people do it, they don't got to do that shit. Like everybody has a different
Oh,
way
yeah,
of
I
getting it,
think-
but there's no direct contact.
Yeah, I think the other guy,
you
his-
don't
what-
need to know. Don't act like his name
yeah,
matters. Don't
it's
act
a,
like
it's a
it.
Chinese name.
I
He
know
li-
it, but it
he
really
licked the
doesn't.
sap on a tree and began.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is a major problem because that comes later
He
on.
took like chi from living things, like.
Yeah, that's a major problem.
But think about how the way he got the chi from the other people, though.
I just want to address these problems in order.
Can
because
I address a
there's-
different one before you even do that?
Okay.
Okay. On 2 separate occasions, when Hasero comes into view, like when they introduce him, like he's walking, minding his own business. On 2 separate occasions, he finds a whole lot of people laying on the ground. Are they dead? How'd they get there? What happened to them? They never came back up.
That is
These people cannot just go
That's
missing.
that's on the
No
list,
report.
man.
Oh no,
That's
actually,
on, that's on my list too, man.
they said like the first time I think it was Nada who sucked their chi,
They didn't even say
and the
that.
second
No, they
time it
didn't.
was
They
the
never,
other girl.
They
They
never said that.
specified that.
They never specified it.
They never
I'm
did.
not just gonna guess that our main heroine for no reason just assaulted a bunch of innocent people.
Right.
Why would I assume that?
Right, especially since
It's
later
the
on.
only thing that makes sense.
How do you know somebody else didn't do it? She was on the run from them. How do you know somebody else didn't do
But
it?
before we continue with that, while we're talking about the world we're establishing here, so you see the main character. Guess how old would you say that character is before anything else even happened?
I thought he was in
15.
his early. No, I thought the first time I saw him, I was thinking he was in. Like I saw him and I saw her, and I thought, okay, so they're in their 20s or something. He's
Yeah.
a bodyguard.
Yeah.
No,
He's
he
a tw-
looks so young to me.
No,
like,
no. I thought when I first saw it with all the cybernetic enhancements and him talking about he's a bodyguard, I was like, okay, 20s.
Yeah.
The cybernetic enhancement didn't even come in the first part when he met.
Yeah, but like it still seemed like he was a roguish adventure type character, which is why I was very surprised when I found out that he's a fucking kid and
In
he
high
goes to school.
I'm pretty sure she said that in the very first time
And
she
while,
met him.
And while
Aren't you a high schooler? Don't get involved.
and while we're talking about school, that's another good thing about the series. I after being stuck with Mr. Cracker and Miss Tapwater,
Mhm.
Oh,
I
God.
saw those three.
those 3 side characters
I
that had
loved
it.
them. I fell in love with
wanna
them.
know
They
what?
all had individual traits.
Yes, they had personality.
Sleeping Beauty.
I didn't know how much I missed it.
It was so weird because honestly, I swear if I had seen those 3 characters in any other series, they would have gone completely ignored. But Blander and Blandy, they make everybody else
Shine like
so
diamonds.
It's like,
Okay, let's give them aliases, starting with Sleeping Beauty because that is her legit nickname.
Sleeping the
The
student council president.
She is
which-
Sleeping Beauty.
And then we have the vice president. I
The
don't
vice
know.
president, he's like literally Mr. Absent-Minded.
He's just, and then we have energetic girl, which
Yeah.
is
Madam
which is-
Wild.
They're all cliches as hell.
But
but
in this,
God.
they stand out so much.
They are like character writer 101. It's like somebody said, listen, man, if you're gonna have characters and if you got nothing for them, at least like make them stand out. Like, give them something, man. Give them a cliche. Give them anything.
It's like someone was giving the author writing advice, like, okay, so you have to make sure your background characters stand out. Okay, good. And 6 months later, he read the series and was like, okay, you made the background characters stand out. What happened to the characters in the foreground?
It's like they're transparent. You can look right through the first 2 characters and then like look at everybody else in the series.
I want to say this. The one moment we ever see him in his classroom. First off, I was kind of surprised that he actually goes to school diligently.
Yeah.
That
You wouldn't
surprised
expect
me.
that because like the first 2 chapters, he's out
He
in
was
the
just-
streets,
right.
like, doing whatever, and he was like, "Oh, he goes to
Was
school."
this at night?
Like,
What time of day was this? But anyway, so and he has the background characters as his classmates. They start whispering about him being with the student council people because apparently he knows them all.
that's a thing. And even though he's not really involved. And by the way, the school thing, we spent like 4 chapters at the school and then never brought up again.
It was on like 2.
Those characters, I say 4 because I'm exaggerating.
You are,
The
'cause it was
last
like
2
2.
chapters they were at the school, they were just standing on the roof, or was just our main 2 characters
That
talking.
was the very last chapter. So the
And
best
it's
you can
like-
say is 2.5.
two and a
Three.
half. So
Oh, but
three. You're exaggerating.
did you not miss did you not see the entire arc where they integrated her into their school life?
Oh yeah, you mean like that 0.5 of a chapter? That was so pointless. It's like the author heard like, oh yeah, anime have school in it. Let me put a school in mine then real fast. It was so pointless because those characters are gone. Like
just
after
no need.
and no mention whatsoever. Oh yeah, before that, I did forget one thing. This comes back later, but did you peep like it was right after the like
Did
the
I
first.
Wait,
did
wait.
you- So the main character has a sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see like she was introduced like chapters ago before she was introduced again?
She
Yeah.
was. She appeared at one moment in time.
Who the fuck was that supposed to be?
That was her as a child when they first met.
It was
And
like
all of a
no,
sudden she's
the
calling his
manga
name and she
literally-
never appeared.
The manga literally went like, okay, here's page 1, blah 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 blah. I have a sister, page 2, and you guys go like, wait, what? I turned back and I was like, y'all just all it said for like 2 seconds was the manager of the apartment building he's living at, and then a sister, and then like it kept going, and I was like, was that supposed to be a character introduction? Were we supposed to know who those were?
Like before we saw her present day, there were like 2 or 3 inclinations that she was actually existing.
Like she existed, and I was like,
Her name came up like as my sister, not even her real name, just my sister. Then the robotic device brought her up that one time, talking all that stuff I shouldn't have been talking, and
We
then
li-
she appeared.
we literally saw her like once,
No, twice.
twice.
3 times a lady.
Yeah, 3 times the young version of her and 2 times in the current version of her.
And it's just like, well, I swear this guy was making this stuff up.
Who's
Okay,
the name? Female? Is it a female?
What are you talking about? What's
the
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 author?
author. Yeah.
Sanda Makoto.
that's kind of a unisex name right
It's not
there.
really- I couldn't really find much on this author. It's
Mm-mm.
Sex.
Gender. How about that? Just go
yeah,
there.
we'll call the author gender.
But
Yeah. Okay. When we talk about the antagonist now, right?
Okay,
My
we're
most
gonna
hated-
act like they were antagonists in this series. Okay, let's.
I'm gonna
let's
call them
continue.
antagonists.
Let's continue
for
with this farce.
I'm gonna call them antagonists for the simple fact that they were fighting. And it's one of those things where they're fighting you, but nobody really knows why. And then when you find out why, they try to get you to question.
It's
They try to get you to question it.
it's so dumb because first of all, with the way they wrote it out and when they're talking about this girl's past, they make an implication that like she has lots of enemies.
But at
and
the
there's
same-
lots of evil vampires
and
out
they
there.
imply there's this huge organization.
But we see 2 of them.
And we
There's
never
2
really
of
get the
them.
name of the come on now.
Well, you get their names there.
No, not the name of the characters.
clan.
The organization that's
Yeah.
supposed to be
There's
after
a clan.
them.
There's a clan.
There's
of-
more than one, but
and-
we see 2 people.
and we see 2 of them, and those are the 2. They talk about vampires and all their evil they do, and it's like, okay, you're gonna show us 2 of them? That's it?
Okay, here's a weird part for me. When she came out, what is her name? Zoe Lanha. When she came out, leave me
Wanted to
alone.
learn the names.
I tried. I just tried. I figure you give a name, you give a face, it'll make things easier. So when she came out, I originally I hated her on everything. Everything about her, I hated her. But when they showed a little piece of her background, by a little piece, that one little drift
That
off into
one
the moment where I
page.
can see where I came from. Not even on one page, just one panel.
Which confused the heck out of me, honestly, more than gave her background.
They didn't give her nothing. They just all of them is apparently from a different tribe, but hers was apparently in the mountains, and that is all. We don't even know what it looks like, who's there, just the fact that it was in the mountains. And she has such a terrible personality. They don't even tell her why she has this dude who's like her butler, but
But hey,
his mouth is terrible.
at least she has a personality.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But I have a question.
She's like kind of like
Go ahead.
sitting there at the end with that type
Yeah,
shit, and that
that's weird.
irritates me.
Why China?
I don't know.
I thought they were trying to go for the Chinese hopping vampire at first when she first showed up and she had a coffin and then the guy
Jiangxi?
popped and again the guy
What
popped
was
out
his
of the
purpose of being on the
coffin.
coffin?
They never brought that up again. I thought that's what they were going for.
I thought like
Don't the
that was her
Chinese-
weapon,
Yeah,
but
don't the Chinese cremate?
The hopping vampire thing, the whole
The Jiangxi.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
I
are.
thought that's what they were going for.
Yeah, no, Jiangxis are zombies, not vampires.
Oh well,
Well,
it seemed like they
Oh.
wanted to do something in that vein or sense,
Sort of.
but then
don't-
nothing.
they don't
No.
have anything that you would call a stereotypical vampire. except for the sucking something for life force.
Yeah, honestly, they shouldn't even call them vampires. They could have
The only
stuck
reason
with
they
the
do is because
sage
they
then.
suck chi. That's literally the only thing.
They have no other vampire thing because I'm pretty sure they're out in the sun constantly.
They are.
There's no reason to call them vampires
Oh my goodness,
and
you're
then
right. They
they-
are in the sun.
constantly.
And then
They have no other weaknesses. They don't hypnotize people.
right,
They don't create more of
they're
them.
fast.
They don't fly.
They're strong.
But
But that's not a really
those
something you
aren't
would call a vampiric quality.
Yeah, those aren't things like directly in association with vampires. There's
Vampires have those things, but that's not what makes them vampires.
there's zero reason to call these things vampires.
I think the thing that bugged me was how when she says she's not a normal
One of
human.
these,
She's not a normal human.
and she was,
So what are you?
No, she was just salty because of
oh,
Nanta's ability to suck
No,
away
she
her
literally
vampirism.
called herself. I'm not. I'm a normal one of these.
that's what I'm
creatures." Like,
saying. That's the part that confused me when they try to give her background. So basically, Nata, what she's supposed to be able to do is to make vampires human or make them take away their powers.
Right.
So supposedly she did that to this girl, but then again later she
Oh,
shows up with
yeah.
all her powers again.
She had 60%. They said that she
So
rested
yeah, she
and
rested
got back
and recovered.
60%.
So what the hell is the point of her if she doesn't take away their powers? All she's doing is hurting them like anybody else would have hurt them.
Right. Like, what are they supposed to do? I'm scared. She'll do it again. Let me behave.
That's why I'm saying they make things up as they go along. Because later they introduced that whole 7 keys or 7 codes thing, which is supposed to be able to control her. And I was like, and it was like, oh, we have this thing all along. Then why the fuck didn't you use it the first time you fought her?
You got to be next to her to do it, and she appeared out of nowhere, so they weren't ready.
They weren't ready. They weren't looking for her. Why would they
Right.
not have it on their person,
Right.
ready to use it on her? What is
And I think what's funny is how incompetent they are. Like, for a second, they reminded me of Team Rocket, but that was in terms of incompetence.
Yeah, I don't even. That's not intentional. They don't want you to think these guys are incompetent. They just forgot to use their secret weapon.
And then she dared to be all, self-important about it. Like, huh, next time I see her.
It's like, why didn't you just beat her this time? You had the chance to.
Oh, I like what their boss said to them. Oh, so you did all that to get the full power and you still failed?
Oh god, that series sucks. This series sucks so much. It's just so many questions and so many whys and who's and the other thing, we talked about his mechanical clothes. It talks like it talks.
Yeah, it's like an
randomly.
AI
It's an
system.
AI, yeah.
It has an AI, but like you notice how conveniently it shuts up, like in scenes.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do anything until he tells it to do it.
Like no, it has the fucking clove has a sense of he's a fucking smartass with comedic timing. It's like I'm only gonna talk in scenes where I need to make a joke. Or
I can make a joke out of this. Let
No.
me say it now. Like,
You know who was a great set of talking clothes?
Senketsu.
Senketsu.
Sanketsu was the best talking clothes ever.
This clothes is no Senketsu. Man. It is no Senketsu. It
course
even
not.
has I don't even understand like the basis of the clothes.
No, it only
don't even
ever
understand.
talks when people are talking about it. It doesn't cut in with information at any other time.
Or quips. It's like you could have
It
said a
doesn't
lot.
even help him until he asks it to, because it'll sit there and be like, what am I supposed to do?
It just sits there and it's his clothes.
I'm sorry, I was on Facebook.
Basically.
No,
Yeah, it's
I'm an AI. I was literally on
Like,
Facebook.
just
Oh my God.
browsing around. It's like, hey, clothes. I noticed you haven't said anything for like 3 days. Oh, that's because nobody brought me up in conversation.
Hey, you
Really?
know it's Jackie's birthday? Okay, I won't say anything to her.
Wow.
It's like it's just so the clothes talks only when it seems like the story needs it to talk.
Which is only in those funny or embarrassing moments, or to say the name of the output of power, shit like that.
But man,
We can't even get a good grasp on all its abilities.
that's the thing. I don't even understand the limits of this world
Right.
because I don't even know if those clothes are considered impressive or if they're normal compared to the rest of the world.
Like, here's
No,
the thing.
they have to be impressive, because if you can grow a glove on your hand when you're clearly not having anything on your hand.
No, yeah. The first time I saw him, I thought, oh, okay. Like I said, I first thought it was like a sci-fi series. And the first time I saw him, I thought, okay, so supernatural technology is a thing in this world. But later on, you find out where the clothes came from, and you're like, oh, okay, so I guess they are special.
Yeah, they
and
are.
then like at the end, he just does a lot of shit. First of all, we never say spoilers, but I'm pretty sure he killed people. I'm pretty sure he killed people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
He-
there's no way that doesn't kill a lot of people, right?
Well, I mean, people weren't around apparently.
No, they had to have
bullshit.
evacuated.
Come on.
No, you gotta think about that.
There's no way. Okay, you're telling me he managed to evacuate a whole city in like an hour?
No, what you have to be able to know in this situation is that he had to have had the foresight to know that this is gonna happen. So he decided to get everybody who doesn't know him to trust him, using his apparent
He
Then
had his vampire
thing. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, he
No,
didn't.
not that. Not that. The other thing he had to do in order to actually,
it's
be the
just
bodyguard. He had
and
to
then
do some stuff that his sister didn't want him to do, and he used that power to evacuate
and
everybody, and then
but
cause an accident.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, even if you evacuate everybody, that's like millions of dollars in property damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
actually addressed later
That
on.
may actually be considered an act of terrorism.
I'm
No,
pretty
that was
sure it is.
yeah, yeah. But then you the one with the power, you doing the thing in your own apparent city.
Like,
That was actually addressed how much this was gonna affect him
oh,
and have to
okay,
fix at the
but
end, but
oh,
nothing happened.
but
So yeah.
speaking of the end, because you guys love that thing this show did at the end.
Manga.
Oh
This manga.
my
It's
gosh.
amazing. It's amazing because honestly, I wonder what would happen if other series did it. So right at the end, the
Other
last
series
line,
actually have done
the
stuff like
last
that.
line of this series is basically the title, Cross Regalia.
Like Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, or it works in some cases.
Wait, how'd they do? Well,
In
I'll ask
Gurren
you
Lagann?
later. Yeah, I'll ask you
No,
later.
but
When they
honestly,
put the title in the end.
I didn't
no,
watch it.
they put the title on the end. I'm saying when somebody in the show goes out of their way
To
just to
say
say what the title of the show is. Just
And it was
imagine.
somebody that we don't even know. Like,
It was just
Stone
a
Freaks has become the greatest
Hunter.
You could say
Hunter.
that now he is the hunter of hunters.
oh
or
gosh.
Ichigo Kurosaki has finally achieved bleach.
Or
Ew.
Monkey D. Luffy set out the quest for one piece. Oh, well,
That
That is
could work.
everywhere. That is everywhere. Because that's not just like the one thing there. That
man.
is literally what everybody is looking for.
Naruto became the ultimate.
Ew,
Naruto.
that's just ill.
God, just imagine if other series felt the need to pull this crap. It was like, and that is how we managed to graduate from My Hero Academia. Like, come on, guys. The only series
don't
that
do
could
that.
pull it off.
Don't
you know
do
what
that.
series that could pull
What?
it off pretty well?
What?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my gosh.
That
But
would
the-
work. I could just. There's so many ways you could do that one.
Because first of all, they would say it in every one of them. Because in every one of them, there is a JoJo.
And that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And then.
No, not just that. Because some of them have the little extra thing at the end because of the specific person, like the Crusaders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To add
Guys,
that
guys,
in there would be.
we can't do this series injustice by talking about a good series to distract our miserable souls.
It does
Oh,
itself injustice.
Damn it,
What do you
he
want
caught
me
on
to
to
do?
my plan. I was slowly moving you guys away from talking about this series.
What else can we talk about with it? We've already discussed
We
what.
kind of already
I'm
discussed
good about
all of
it.
this, so let's do final thoughts. And oh my goodness.
Elliot, you start because he's having some trouble right now.
I need to organize my thoughts. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Alright, should I just give my score?
Man, just final thoughts on your score, man.
Okay. This series was a I would say this. If it were a bus, a public transportation bus, I would love to take it because it got me because I got on at the beginning and I got off at the end with literally no divergence in the middle. If it were a bus, that'd be great. It's a story, so it's terrible. I have no idea what these characters are supposed to be doing. I'm thrown into this world where I have to figure out by bits and pieces when in the first chapter you should be informed whether or not you're going to enjoy this or want to continue reading. The ecchi disappointed me. I had never been less interested in ecchi in my entire life.
Oh,
And
man.
I just... it broke.
What?
It was almost harmful. It was it was almost harmful. I'm giving this 2 stars.
2 stars. Okay. All right. I've organized my thoughts.
All right.
I've centered myself.
Mhm.
So, in all fairness, this series sucks. It's really bad. But to be honest, let's say 2005 me or 2006 me would have probably read this series and wouldn't have had a problem with it. Because that was back when I was really starting to get into anime and manga, and I read everything. Like, I read everything no matter what. And I'm pretty sure if I had read this back then, it would have just been in the vault. I would have forgotten all about it, but I wouldn't have been upset. So, saying that, I have to give it the credit that if you are just like at that phase where you've like started watching anime and manga recently and you just like really love everything that is produced through Japan and you're at that, what do they call them, Anglophiles? No, some for Japan.
Weeaboos.
I guess. Yeah, if you're at that stage, then this series won't do anything to you. It won't hurt you. But if you have at least read like 10 or 5 mangas or like are really deep into like anime and manga at this point, this series would just hurt you, man. Like it may cause you physical pain. Because when I first had to read this, all I could think was, man, I was so fucking mad at you. I was like, you made me read this.
like, like I was reading it and I was thinking, oh, okay, I gotta be gentle at this review because Titania suggested it, and I don't
Oh
want to.
no,
No, I don't want to
no.
be a jerk. And then I thought to myself, oh yeah, we could review bad. Did she pick this knowing we could review bad series?
Yes,
And I was
that
just
was
like,
literally my reason.
no, after I finished reading this, I immediately took to Facebook and I just said, "Fuck you, fuck
Yes.
He really did.
you, fuck you," because it really was like, why would you make me do this? That being said, I cannot deny that somebody out there may be able to get enjoyment out of this.
Somebody did. Remember,
Somebody.
it's rating for some people.
And so that being said, I have to give it 3 stars.
Why?
3 stars just because it's inoffensive. That's the thing. I
Okay.
would have to
Okay.
bump it. If it was offensive, I would have to put it down. But it's just bland, man. It is just bland.
I guess I was a little more offended than you.
Yeah, I can't listen, man. I can't, in all good consciousness, go into a like party and like start sampling all the drinks and fine refreshments they have, and then I drink water and just go, man, this is some bullshit right here. But like, it's still water, man. I have to at least give it credit for being water. So that's like I drank some soda, drank some nice mixes, drank some good shit, man. But like, and then I get to the water, and I was like, fuck. Like, it's still water, so I have to give it 3 stars. 3 star. So that's me. What are you giving it?
Okay. First off, I'm just gonna immediately say I'm giving it 2 stars because there was so many things about this that just made me irritated. We couldn't find the author probably hid from this because they knew that it wasn't good themselves. Why we couldn't find anything? And it all just everything about it made me feel like, okay, are you gonna expand on this? What? No. Okay. Okay, are you gonna be of any use? What? No. That's the first time and last time we see you. Oh, okay. There's so many things about this made me feel like if you wanted to do good at this, you could have at least tried to give somebody some time. I think what they tried to do was to give Hasero a background, and they said one thing, and it was like, where's your family? Why are you in here? What the hell? Like so many things. It pissed me off. The only reason why I wouldn't give it 1 and I gave it 2 was because, my most hated character was that little, the little vampire who was after them and her big ass weapon and her monster suit. Why there gotta be so much fucking She-Hulk little people in so much shit? But that's different. But I didn't like her. Everything about her irritated me. Her attitude, her self-importance, the way she walked, the way she thinks, everything irritated me. So the one moment where she got something that she deserved with no hesitation brought me joy. So the time when she got the shit slapped out of her gave me joy.
So twos.
2.
2.
And I would give it a 3 just because I know that a version of me would have watched this and not been upset. That's the
You
only
mean the
reason.
dumb version?
Well, everybody's dumber in the past. So that is our review of Cross X Regalia. And normally this is the point where we would give you recommendations, but nah,
The
Mm,
no,
nah.
no, but for me, the only thing I could even want to recommend is something that you would have to watch because I wouldn't recommend you read this particular thing called Absolute Duo, and the anime already came out. It's the type of thing that I enjoy with the whole partner thing and getting stronger to get that type of thing. And the only reason I recommend this is based on the artist. So if you like the artwork, that's something to look forward to. So
No.
Absolute Duo is pretty much, you know, the type of thing where everything's partnered up. The main character has an irregularity, and I think that's interesting.
That's okay. And the only reason I'm not giving a recommendation this time around is because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I mean, honest, that seems wrong. Like telling you, basically, if you're interested in this series, just read this series because I can't. It's if you want to drink water, I'm not gonna stop you from drinking water. I'm not gonna recommend you just go out there and drink something else. Go ahead and drink your water. So, alright, that's it. That's our review. And now we're moving on to our performance review. And normally, I would have made a quiz or some kind of test or I would have pulled something off the internet. But actually, I have this list of questions here.
Okay.
And no, I would make a quiz about Cross X Regalia, but technically this is. So, as I read the series, I wrote down these questions here. And I'd like for you guys to see if you can answer it for me. Careful for spoilers, please.
Okay.
Try.
Okay. Question number uno. If our main character girl is so strong, why was she laying on the floor in the alley? Was the implication that she was beaten and knocked out? She was tired? She was being hunted? What was going on with that? Anybody has an answer?
I'll try. I feel that in the moment when she was laid on the ground, it could have been one of two things. Either she was tired of running and had just pretty much given up, or that she had run out of chi, so she was laying there.
Okay.
I feel like her oversized etchy boobs are just weighing her down.
I would accept that answer. That's canon now. Put
No,
it in the
oh,
series.
come on now. That would question everything else. Not that there weren't enough questions
Okay.
about it.
Question number two. This one we talked about a little, but really, what is up with the main character's robotic clothes? What is up with that? They just exist.
It was something his sister made for him based on the fact that she knows how he is. So this was his protection. That was his
Okay.
literal armor.
And that has a quick follow-up question. Later on in the series, we find out that the main character is idiotically denying millions and millions of money, all the monies, but for some reason he accepts the robot clothes because his personality is like he's not accepting handouts, but he still takes this all-powerful clothes.
According to the robot, it's being rented.
I guess you could say it's the Deus Ex Machina of the story.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up. God, that was a stupid answer. I'm deducting points. I'm grading
There
you
are
guys on
points?
this. Well, it's a performance review, so yeah.
But it's true. The clothes said, "I'm on rent."
He's on rent. It doesn't make any
The
sense.
clothes are being rented. Like it was the only thing that he would accept.
All right, next question. So, in this series, it's that vampires are not public knowledge.
Okay.
They don't say it outright, but you guess that vampires are not public knowledge.
Right.
That being said, so how was that whole news story about people in Chinatown all being knocked out on the floor? How was that explained? Happened twice, by the way.
The second time was covered up because
They say that.
okay, it does say that actually. It
That-
says that they were talking about how they were talking with their boss about how I can't cover up everything, you know. So he covered up the second time. There was no news about it whatsoever.
So the
and-
first time people just forgot
Okay,
about
I
that?
think- the first time is-
was
The first time, I guess that would claim to Nata doing that or something because it was not covered up. So the power wasn't there. So she did that herself.
Oh,
So-
I just assumed it was a flash mob on break.
He's going for the winning answers here, Titania.
What? I'm giving you real answers and you want jokes?
Listen, man, I'm gonna have to give him points for that.
Oh, you
I'm
suck.
sorry.
You suck.
You're not getting any points here. You keep trying to explain it rationally. Clearly, there's no rational explanation to
Now
be
Chicago
had.
Bancho. There are reasons and shit in this.
So, all right, next question. Okay, we in a flashback, we learn our main character was involved in a fire in which he made a 1,000 yen bet with this old man, and that's why he does this whole 1,000 yen bodyguard then.
Hmm.
So after the fire, now without going into spoilers, he has the right to live comfortably.
Hmm.
That being said, why would he not be able to live comfortably regardless? Because I have one big question for you. Where the fuck are his parents?
I want to say that I want to say two things. One of which he had to. I think his parents sold him to the old man.
Okay.
After the fire, I think
This-
that happened.
Okay, she's coming up on you, Elliott. I like this theory. They just sold their son. They was like, you went out to go buy candy and you got caught in a fire. You fucking suck, son. We're gonna sell you to the first old man we see. I like that being canon. Continue. I like this theory.
The other thing would have been something along the lines of involving police and asking for last testimony that he lied to them and kind of got the whole thing for himself and disowned his parents.
He's a maniacal bastard. Now that I will inherit all this money, I no longer need you, mother and father.
Well, yeah, he made a bet. Nobody asked how much, so he said his whole estate.
Uh,
Alright, what's your theory here, Elliott?
Here was my guess. My guess was that he'd been bugging his parents all this time because his allowance was way too low.
Yeah.
Like, we've already covered that 1,000 yen isn't much more than $10,
It
right?
was
Yeah.
8.
Yeah. So, they finally were like, okay, it's your birthday. Here's that $10 you always wanted. Go to the mall and buy yourself something. A fire goes down at the mall, and they take that opportunity. He goes home, and his house, the literal house, is gone.
Wow.
They picked up and left.
Wow. I was gonna say negligence because they let him go to the mall by himself as an 8-year-old and got him caught in the
I
fire.
don't know, man. I'm going with Tanya's story.
No.
The whole maniacal getting his parents sent to jail. That's way better. Oh my goodness. All right, man. Next question. So later on, so the first two major attacks, we never know if those people died or if they were just knocked out. They
Right.
never say.
Okay.
But we do learn that the vampires can suck chi out of any living thing.
yes.
That being said, what is the possible problem in this world that they feel the need to go after humans? Because mind you, one of them even said that he didn't want to suck the vulgar chi out of the main character,
Oh yeah, one of them actually.
indicating that there's probably chi quality or something.
Maybe
But if
she's
you can
just
suck
a
chi out of
chi-whore.
living things, trees, and all that stuff, why go after humans?
I feel like that she's just a chi whore and she wants to lick everybody and get it.
She a chi whore. She a chi whore. Okay, man. How do you top chi
She can
whore?
have it.
Chi whore.
I'm so proud of you.
She a chi whore. Working them streets for that chi.
Hey, suck your chi for $10.
For 1,000 yen. Okay. Well, those were basically my questions. And with that, Titania wins. Hey,
Dang it.
passes our performance review. All right, that's kind of it. That's it for today.
Okay.
This has been Yusuff
This is Elliott.
It's Titania.
telling you don't be some filthy chi whores out there. All right, guys. Peace out.